These folks represented the effort in New Jersey that's almost 5 years old. New Jersey's medical marijuana legislation is in its final and most critical phase as it heads towards an assembly vote, probably in September or November, depending on when the House Speaker Joe Roberts decides to schedule it, when we can work this out soon. Here in Pennsylvania, in April, on April 29th, HB 1393 was introduced for the Commonwealth. It starts the process for medical marijuana access to be available here. It's a very forward-looking bill that includes a lot of lessons learned around the country already. Joining us here today is State Representative Mark B. Cohen, the gentleman who introduced HB 1393. We're going to have Derek from Pennsylvanians for Medical Marijuana speak for a moment, and then we're going to bring Rep. Cohen up to speak as well. Derek?
Hello, everyone. So, first I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Medical marijuana is important to millions of people across the state of Pennsylvania and millions more across the nation. And with the support of people like you, hopefully we'll see this bill pass and get our state legal medical marijuana program this year, or next year, hopefully. So I first met Barry Busch when he started coming out to the meetings that PhillyNORML used to hold out on 13th and Pine at the Last Drop Coffee House. An old guy, you know, he had a ventilator from years of smoking. He had HIV, AIDS, and he had a spirit that just wouldn't quit. He was there almost every week, whenever he could, pushing us to push medical marijuana, to put it on the agenda, to make sure that our efforts were starting to gear towards that. And we listened. So I helped him build a site, Pennsylvanians for Medical Marijuana, PA4MMJ.org. And during that time, he did a poll of the legislature, found a fairly favorable response, and we decided to push this bill. And unfortunately, on July 11, 2007, Barry Busch died due to complications from HIV/AIDS. And in the short time I've known him, he's just inspired me to push this issue as much as I can, and also for personal reasons, my father, who has an ailment which could be helped with the medical use of marijuana, my grandmother, who has an ailment which could be alleviated with the medical use of marijuana, and dozens others of my friends and family I know could benefit from this, and there's no reason whatsoever, none, not a single reason on this planet to deny a person the right to use something that helps them medically with the recommendation of their doctor. And HB 1393, the Compassionate Use Medical Marijuana Act, would ensure that patients in Pennsylvania have that right and can no longer get arrested. And I'd like to thank Representative Cohen for introducing this bill and listening to the voice of the people. And let's give him a chance to say his piece.
Thank you, Derek. Medical marijuana is an idea whose time has come. It has overwhelming popular support in Pennsylvania. That does not mean, however, it will pass the legislature. The people who deeply believe in it, people who feel they will benefit from it, people who feel others will benefit, have a duty to join with myself, with Chuck Goldstein, with Derek Rosenzweig, and many, many others in Pennsylvania, including yourselves, to see that legislators are aware that the public opinion polls showing overwhelming public support are not some kind of fluke, but really represent people. That there are people behind the numbers, there are stories behind the numbers, there's tragedy behind those numbers. We know that medical marijuana can slow down the rate of glaucoma. We know that medical marijuana has certain properties which make it easier for people who are wasting away from chemotherapy to eat and to continue with their chemotherapy. We know that medical marijuana can help people who have problems from taking drugs that have strong negative effects but are nevertheless vital to their recovery. We know that medical marijuana can make it easier to take these prescription drugs that are good for the people, but nevertheless have negative side effects. We believe that the passage of medical marijuana is a legitimate health issue that is strongly in the interest of the people of Pennsylvania, and I certainly am going to be working hard. I know many of you here are certainly going to be working hard, and hopefully we can build up a critical mass in Pennsylvania that will convince the legislature, convince the media, convince the general public that this is an idea whose time has come and is strongly in the interest of the people of Pennsylvania. Thank you very much.